Good afternoon, my name is Leticia and I'm going to be reading my final assignment. Back in high school, when I was in ninth grade, my class and several teachers went on a week-long camping trip to Pico Duarte, the highest peak in the Caribbean. Before the trip, we had trained for months because the hike was extremely demanding and physically exhausting. We practiced by hiking several mountains around Jarabacoa, such as Manabao and Montaña Plana. At the time, we were feeling incredibly excited, yet also very nervous about what awaited us. The night before the trip, I was packing all the supplies we needed while my mind was racing with anticipation. I remember feeling anxious, but at the same time deeply happy, because we had been waiting for this experience ever since we had first heard about it back in elementary school. It felt unreal that the moment had finally arrived. On the day of the trip, we arrived at school at 6 a.m., and by 6:30 we had already started hiking. As we were climbing, we were telling stories, singing songs, joking around, and constantly snacking to keep our energy up. Along the way, there were rest stations where we could refill our water bottles and eat quickly before continuing. We were trying to reach the campsite as early as possible because the class before us had arrived by 5 p.m. Unfortunately, despite our efforts, we did not surpass them and reached the campsite around 8 p.m. By the time we were halfway there, I was already exhausted. I had to ride a donkey in order to keep up with my classmates. Although I had wanted to complete the hike on foot and challenge myself, my body simply could not keep going. When we finally arrived at the first campsite, it was freezing cold. We set up our sleeping bags inside a small cabin that had nothing but a fireplace. After changing into our pajamas, we went outside to the campfire, where we ate dinner together. Later, we played several games before going to sleep, completely worn out but happy. On the second day, we hiked to the actual peak where the statue of Juan Pablo Duarte stands. On the third day, we headed to Valle de Tetero, retracing our steps down the mountain. Since we had already been there in 8th grade, returning felt especially nostalgic. We stayed there for 2 days and then headed back home on Friday. This experience was one of the best and hardest I have ever had. I cried, laughed, and truly learned to appreciate the beauty of God's creation. I bonded deeply with my classmates and teachers and made unforgettable memories. Sometimes I wish I could go back, but then I remember how challenging the hike truly was, and I smile knowing I survived it. Thank you for listening.